Yo, what is up, everybody, and welcome to the first official AP poll, the preseason poll. Let's go. I'm excited. I've been missing college football. If I'm like, I'm excited for this. As this may not be the most important thing, but it's just a good way to look at this. It's something. I've been missing this a lot, and there will be a lot more college football content coming out, including my preseason top 25, and just throughout the year. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming. But I'm excited. I do know the teams 1 through 4 because when this page loaded, it popped up 1, 2, 3, and 4. But that's fine. I think that's fine. I think 1, 2, and 3 are the most obvious thing in the world. All right, you have Alabama, right? It's like, yeah, you Ohio State and Georgia. If you don't have those 3 teams in the top 3, and I will allow any order. But if those 3 teams aren't in your top, there's a clear, these are the top 3 teams. It is clear. Preseason, just now, maybe once the season comes, maybe something will happen. I doubt it. But these 3 teams are the 3 best teams in college football, just looking at it right now. Now, number 4 is Clemson. And you can even see they had their own little, looks like a little tier thing. I don't know if they do that every 3, but Clemson, I'm fine with that. I disagree with it to an extent, as in I don't think they're a playoff team with DJ Uiagalelei as quarterback. As soon as they put Cade Klubnik in, it will take some reevaluating. Maybe he's actually probably not going to be Trevor Lawrence from the start. But I think there's just so much more upside with Cade Klubnik than there is DJ. DJ just looked horrendous last year. Now, if he looks like he's supposed to, like he kind of did filling in for Trevor Lawrence, granted they lost the game versus Notre Dame, but if he looks like that type of quarterback, then Clemson, yes, is a playoff team. This defense is so good. One of the best defenses in college football. That, yes, the potential is there for them to be a playoff team. But the offense is where I get some questions. But overall, I'm fine with them at 4. 5, Notre Dame. Again, more quarterback questions. I don't trust their quarterback. I don't trust their offense. New head coach. Again, are they still a good team? Yes. There's a team or 2 that I would still have ranked ahead of them. Number 6, Texas A&M. It's fine. I was like on paper, they should be one of the most talented teams. If not right, they're right up there with those top 3 in terms of talent. Now, actual production is where something's been missing for a while, but in terms of talent, yeah, no, that's completely fine. Utah, I'm high on. They might be my number 4 right now, just because they out of these next group. That's where I have the least amount of questions. My only question is if they're able to replicate what they did. Like if they play that hard every single game, all of this year, they played the last couple. Like if they played the start they did last season, this year, this team is going to be a playoff team. But yeah, at 7, that's completely fine. Number 8, Michigan. They do like to harp on this is what they're missing. They still have their quarterbacks. They still have a good running game. Their offense is pretty much very similar to what it was last year. Their defense, yes, you're losing Hutchinson, you're losing Ajabo. It's still a very talented group. All right, this is still a Michigan team that recruits well. They have talent there. Now it's up to Jim. In order to coach them. But 8, that's completely fine. This team is a top 10 team. Oklahoma at 9. I had some questions. I had some doubts. Specifically with the offense, because that's what's kept them afloat over these last couple years. So then you bring in Brent Venables, who is a very defensive-minded coach, and I don't doubt next year and the year after that this is a playoff caliber team. Just for this particular season, I don't know how much of a change Venables is going to make to the defense in year 1. While also still keeping up enough offensive productivity. Granted, the Big 12 is so much weaker than it was in the last couple years. So maybe their record gets inflated because of that, but I still do have my questions about Oklahoma. But again, they're a very talented team. I see no problem having them at 9. The only thing is I would have Baylor ahead of them. That's the only problem with that. I think Baylor's just a much better team. Just there is no change in the coaching staff. They still have talent offensively and defensively. And right, they have their same head coach. Dave Aranda's still there. I don't remember if any of the coordinators left. But Baylor, I would have ahead of Oklahoma. But again, 9 and 10, just respectively, fair rankings. That's just my personal thing. So I do think they're doing this like they have little tiers of teams, but I don't know how they would judge that. Anyway, Oregon at 11, that's fine. Their defense is going to be one of the better ones, especially in the Pac-12. I do love their defense a lot. No, it does losing KT, but you have potentially the best linebacking group, headlined by Noah Sewell and Justin Flo. The talent is all there. It's just if this is to be a playoff team, Bo Nix needs to be what he was advertised to be. Now, in order for them just to be a top 25 team, he doesn't. He can just be an average Bo Nix season. This will be a top 25 team. But if they want to get up into the playoff conversation, they need Bo Nix to be a little bit special. Oklahoma State, a team I'm really fond of. However, they did lose Jim Knowles. So I'm interested to see how the defensive production keeps up. I would think it's still around the same. I would maybe it's not going to be quite as good, obviously, but I still do think this will be one of the better defenses. Offense, Spencer Sanders, leading that there. I don't think they have the running game they have had in years past, but it's still a very good team, and I think worthy of a top 15 spot. North Carolina State is my this is my dark horse team. I'm calling it North Carolina State. I love Devin Lear. I love how hard this defense plays. The game against North Carolina to end the year last year, they were missing 7 defensive starters and still played lights. Like, that first quarter was something special to watch for North Carolina State. Okay, that was the missing 7 defensive starters. Now you come back to you're fully loaded. This defense is going to play fantastically. The defense is going to be great. Offense is going to be great. North Carolina State is going to be my dark horse team to make the playoff this year. But yeah, no, I like North Carolina State. USC at 14, I don't have any problems with it. When Lincoln Riley first went there and they were putting them top 25, and then I was like, okay, calm down a little bit. This team just went 3-9 or whatever it was. But then they kept adding, and yeah, no, this is clearly going to be a top 25 team. They pretty much have Oklahoma's offense with a pretty, it's pretty much Oklahoma just in USC uniforms. And Jordan Addison's a much better player than Oklahoma had a receiver last year, so that's even better there. But again, probably not the hardest schedule playing in the Pac-12. I don't have it memorized, but in the Pac-12, you're not going to play fantastic teams every single week. So their record will probably get them up here into 14th. 15th, Michigan State is a very talented team. Yes, they lost Kenneth Walker. They still have Peyton Thorpe. I'm pretty sure that's his name. But their quarterback, he's a fantastic quarterback. He is one of the top quarterbacks in the Big Ten. Not saying much. As a whole, yes, C.J. Stroud is probably, I think, the most talented quarterback in college football. But then after that, Big Ten kind of fills off. Anyway, different topic. Michigan State is still a very talented team. They will still have a rushing attack. Mel Tucker is one of the best coaches in college football. And then this defense got better. This defense got a whole lot better. The only thing is, can this team win through a passing attack without the attention drawn to Kenneth Walker? I think they can, for the most part. But the problem is they have a tough schedule. Their schedule, I know they play Wisconsin. Granted, that game's at home. Pretty sure they play Purdue. And then someone else tough, I think Minnesota from the West. And it's tough. It is a tough schedule. Much tougher than they had last year. This team got better, though. They just are now playing a tougher schedule, so that's unfortunate for Michigan State. Now, Mario Cristobal in Florida, I like it. Again, I think I'm a huge fan of the ACC this year. I'm not going to claim Miami to be like a dark horse just like I did with North Carolina State, but the talent is there. You have a star quarterback in Tyler Van Dyke, and as long as Cristobal does what he didn't do with Justin Herbert and let him loose, like let him throw the ball. You would think you'd do that with your star quarterback, but no, Miami they have so much talent. I like Cristobal there. But again, it's also Miami, and we haven't seen production in the past. Again, I don't always like buying into that because it's different, especially in college. It's different, different than the NFL. But I do think they are one of the 25 best teams in football, in college football. So at 16, I think that's fine. Now, when I said I was a big fan of ACC, Pittsburgh's actually one of the teams I'm probably lower on than most people, just because I don't fully believe in Keaton Slovis. He's gotten worse every single year. Now, maybe this changes scenery to Pittsburgh. Maybe that'll change something. I don't know exactly what it'll change. You lost Jordan Addison. I was like, I don't fully buy into this team. I think they're gonna. By the end of the year, I don't think they're gonna be ranked in the top 25. I don't. Maybe that's a bold prediction for you. I don't know, but I have my questions. Yes, I think the defense will still be fine, but offensively, I have a lot of questions about Pittsburgh. Number 18, the Wisconsin Badgers. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Wisconsin guy. We suck at this certain position called quarterback. Yeah, that's kind of a weak spot. As our quarterback kind of doesn't like to do that. He doesn't like to play have competent quarterback play. With that being said, everywhere else we're like one of the best. Like Braylon Allen is one of the best running backs in college football. Our defense was literally the best in college football last year. Offensive line, we just manufacture these offensive linemen that go out there and freaking dominate in the run game. Like Wisconsin, it's a traditional Wisconsin team. We literally have no passing attack to speak of. If Graham Mertz does anything resembling quarterback play, we will be a top 15 school. Now, if he doesn't, we're going to have some problems. Probably not even going to be ranked because he is bad. Graham Mertz is bad. He had like one good game. I think he had one good game. Don't remember who it was against. But he had like 4 or 5 touchdowns. It was a fun game to watch. But yeah, no, he sucks now. Yeah, he's really bad. So this is solely relying on Braylon Allen and a defense to get us in top 25, and it's doable. I think in a lot of the Big Ten West opponents, it's doable. Granted, we have to play Michigan State. I don't remember who else we play from the East, but Michigan State's like the toughest. Oh, we play Ohio State too. Never mind. Yeah, no, we're screwed in those 2 games. We are screwed. But outside of that, we should be fine. So, yeah, I like us at 18. Arkansas at 19, I have my questions. Solely because Treylon Burks was pretty much their offense last year. Now, KJ Jefferson is good. Then again, over half of his yards came after the receiver caught the ball. So that's just a stat. Just something to throw out there. But, no, I do think overall they're still a good team. They're still a very good team. Yeah, I got no. I think this is right about right. This is right about where I'm going to have them. I would probably have them higher than Wisconsin and Pittsburgh, just because I have a lot of questions about those 2. But no, I just think Arkansas is going to be they're going to have one of the better passing attacks. and their defense is going to it won't be one of the best defenses, but they'll have right around the top 30 or something defense. But yeah, Arkansas, I think probably should be ranked a little higher, but that's fine. Kentucky, I got my problems with, but I have my problems with pretty much every school. I'm not fully sold on Will Levis, but the potential is off the charts. So it's like, I think Kentucky overall will be good. They will be ranked pretty much throughout the year. Now whether I don't think they're going to get up near playoff contention at all, but they could be potentially pushing for the top 10, but even that seems like a bit of a stretch. I was like, I don't know. I don't see them going much higher than 15 personally, but again, the town is there. They just also have a lot of tough games, but that also leads to more impressive wins if you can win them. So Kentucky at 20, that's probably right around where I would have them. Ole Miss at 21. I actually kind of like Ole Miss. I wasn't expecting to say it. They replaced Matt Corral pretty well with Jackson Dart. He's not the same player that Matt Corral is. Matt Corral is a special breed. That doesn't come around very often. But Lane Kiffin has used the transfer portal so well that I honestly think they might end up being better than both Kentucky and Arkansas. Pushing it a bit with Arkansas. In fact, I don't know if I fully believe that. But I do think they're going to be a better team than Kentucky. I can see them getting into the top 10 this year. Whereas Kentucky, I don't see it. But Ole Miss, I think starting them at 21 is a fair spot. Again, I'd switch them in Kentucky at least. But no, it might take a game or two for all the transfers to come together, work out all the Anyway, I do think once this team comes together, gels, they're going to be one of the best teams in football. Wake Forest, same thing. I'm a huge ACC guy, as I mentioned, at least this year. This year, I like what the ACC is producing, specifically on offense, especially when it comes to Wake Forest. This offense, fantastic. Sam Hartman might be the best quarterback in the ACC. It's literally up to whatever you prefer. This defense is dog crap. It is bad. Holy cow, is it bad? It was one of the worst defenses in football. They can't stop shit. They just can't. It's like Wisconsin, but the opposite. It is literally the anti-Wisconsin. And Wisconsin's the anti-Wake Forest. That's literally what it is. But yeah, so I understand the 22nd ranking. I do think that their offense is good enough to win games, and their defense can't be any worse than it was last year. So I think they'll be fine. But it is a fair ranking at 22. Cincinnati, I'm glad they're in here because they are still a very good team. Their defense will not be anywhere near what it has resembled the last couple of years. But their offense, I think, their offense will be good. They got Ben Bryant will probably be the starter if I had to guess. He's spent 2 years in Cincinnati, then transferred to Eastern Michigan where he played pretty well, then transferred back to Cincinnati this year. I like it. I like starting Ben Bryant at quarterback. Again, their defense, there's some problems there because lost a lot of talent. But I believe in Luke Fickell enough, at the very worst, to coach these guys. He will coach them to be better, as opposed to just having the talent there. Now, they will not be the number 4 team in the country. Won't even sniff it. But in terms of the American Conference, I still think they're the best team in it. And apparently the AP does too. They're still the best team. I think that a lot of that goes to Luke Fickell. But I'm happy to see him here. I don't think they'll get much higher. I don't think they'll cross the top 15 threshold. But they're still a very good team. But yeah, I'm happy to see him there. I will say though, with Houston's current odds to win the American, that's not a bad bet. But we're not talking about that right now. The offense is there for Houston, and I definitely believe they can beat Cincinnati. So having them 23-24, perfect. I don't know much about Houston's defense, if I'm being completely honest. But I do know Clayton Tune. He is a fantastic quarterback. And the Cougars, I do believe, deserve to be ranked here at 24. Then at 25, BYU in their own little tier. No, BYU can be a fantastic team. They play a tough schedule. They got a stud QB. Kalani Sitake is still a fantastic coach. That I'm honestly surprised they're not ranked a little higher. I do get that maybe this offense isn't fully what you wanted, but I do believe that it's going to be a fantastically coached football team, and I like this BYU team coming into this year. Now just a few others receiving votes. Tennessee, that was one I was surprised didn't make it. Everybody else, I think this is a perfect culminate. Well, maybe not perfect. But I do believe Tennessee should have been ranked. That's who I would kick Kentucky out for. If I'm being honest, Tennessee should be ranked. Texas, I don't think should be ranked. We'll see what Quinn Ewers does. He has yet to take a college snap, I think. He has yet to throw a college pass. Iowa, it's literally just an Iowa team. Like they're Iowa. Exactly what you think of Iowa, that is what you're going to get. Penn State, hopefully they bounce back. Same thing with LSU and Brian Kelly in his first year. Fresno State could potentially be one of the best group of 5 teams this year. Minnesota bounced back with Muhammad Ibrahim back. They were good without him, and now they got him. They just need Tanner Morgan to step up. Again, UCF is one that I mentioned. Like, if they can play good, like they're going to struggle to get up in the rankings, but also I don't think they're going to play very good. I mean, that'd be fine, but Purdue has one of the best passing attacks in the country, especially in the Big Ten. Mississippi State, I'm fine with them. I anticipated him being here. I forgot the name of their quarterback, but I know he's a pretty good dude. Auburn, I don't think they deserve to really be up there. Same thing with Kansas State, but I like Adrian Martinez, so we'll allow it. Florida, if Anthony Richardson is as advertised, they are going to be a fantastic team. Now, granted, their defense isn't great. New head coach. But we'll see. North Carolina depends on shoot. Drake May, that's his name. Luke May's brother. Now, if he becomes like his brother just in football, yes, they will deserve to be this high. But I don't think they will this year. Boise State, it's a good Boise State team, but I don't think they deserve to really be getting any votes. Same thing with Air Force, 2 very good Mountain West teams. Don't think they should be up here. But that's just me. That's personal thing. I think same thing with Appalachian State. Very good team. I think at some point they will be knocking on the door to get ranked. I don't have them there yet. UCLA, don't think so. San Diego State. I get there's only like 2 votes. South Carolina, I actually like them getting votes. I think they should be a little bit higher. Utah State, same thing. I think they should be a little bit higher. Nebraska should definitely be higher than a few other teams, but that seems about right there. Anyway, if y'all enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe. I'll be coming out with my own college football stuff here soon. And I'll see y'all later. Adios.